Forge World Midath's history is enshrouded in such secrecy that many doubt its very existence, with good reason. The few bits of documentation detailing its structure, society, and production are varied and conflicting, and only one true artifact remains that can be directly tied to the Forge World itself, the Midath Pattern Power Glove. Available information places it somewhere in the Calixis sector, but its system, or even subsector, remain a total mystery. The entire Forge World has been officially designated status unknown, missing or lost, for as long as anyone can remember. The conflicting evidence surrounding Midath and its history are no mistake. Soon after the birth of the Calixis sector, following the conclusion of the Angevin Crusade in 384 M39, the local Ordo Calixis birthed the Xenos Hybris conspiracy within the Inquisition. It's hard to say what precisely spawned the conditions of radical thought in the Calixis sector. Perhaps its proximity to the Eye of Terror, its physical and mental distance from the core of the Imperial Empire, or even just a vague sense of unease and inexplicable dread that plagues the sector. But regardless of cause, these few Inquisitors banded together under the singular driving mindset that the only way to save humanity from certain extinction was by embracing and studying both the achievements and downfalls of the alien. The Inquisitors needed support, research, and manufacturing in order for their grand scheme to see any fruition, and the powerful Forge World Midath was ready to make that sacrifice. Led by Fabricator General Aurelio Nicola Heliodros, the Covens of Magos held the Trion of Martian Precepts and Credentium, an assemblage of Midath's greatest minds, and the resulting conclusion was the mathematical proof that human survival without Xenos aid and/or technology was a true impossibility. During the conference, the Forge World also internally decreed the dogmas of Mars to be antilogical, specifically the conflicts within the seventh mystery. Comprehension is the key to all things, and the ninth warning. The alien mechanism is a perversion of the true path. The incompatible nature of a singular true path that fulfills both criteria of containing all things and simultaneously excluding alien mechanisms was ordained to be a faulty misrepresentation of the Omnissiah's will, and the already strong Xenorite factions within Midath agreed to take part in the Xenos Hybris conspiracy. In truth, even before being approached by the Inquisition, Midath quickly rose to prominence amongst Forge Worlds in the Calixis sector through the long-forgotten processes of reverse engineering and innovative thinking. Strictly speaking, innovation in design was Martian heresy, but the natural resources of Midath were both unique to its planet and too useful to ignore. Without innovation, the natural gold-like alloy that serves as the foundation for the Midath Pattern Power Glove and other Midath inventions would have never seen the light of day. During their age of Martian compliance, it was easy enough to pass these small details off as uniquely recovered STCs, and none of their inventions were ever produced at a scale to gather the attention of unwanted eyes. After partnering with the Ordo Xenos, both parties had to quickly go to work to avoid being branded as outright heretics by both Mars and the Inquisition at large. The distance of the Calixis sector from the Greater Imperium served as a blessing in disguise, and without the relative lack of attention given to the region, it would have certainly been impossible to make an entire planet disappear. Their time to strike fortuitously came during the unbridled chaos of the War of Brass from 738 to 740 M40. Both parties knew that no matter the effort, it was not possible to erase all mention of Midath existing. So instead they began filing massive amounts of information, misinformation, chart alterations, conspiracies, counter-conspiracies, and falsified records. The Ordo Calixis was confident in their success with this methodology after a successful misinformation campaign following the Tanis incident in 709 M40. The deluge of information took many years to see results, but this, in combination with the immediate halt of exports and trade routes out of Midath, resulted in the current scenario where the validity of any information regarding Midath immediately comes into question, even millennia later. There are rumors of white and black robed tech priests appearing at the sites of formal battle zones in the Calixis sector, the soft orange glow of their ocular receptors scanning the fallen arms and armaments of the grisly battlefield. But rumors remain rumors, and the truth of Forge World Midath remains an unknowable enigma to all but an incredibly privileged few. Forge World Midath is a small, fanatical force in the Milky Way galaxy. Their drive to acquire and understand alien technology is superseded only by their determination to remain hidden from the rest of the galactic powers that be. They take no hesitation in obliterating themselves, their fellow citizens, or even entire research bases in the pursuit of secrecy. The seventh and final credo of Midath simply reads, "No witnesses, no exceptions." While primarily research-based, the armies of Forge World are a terrifying sight to any would-be adversary, and the esoteric technology utilized by their battlewalkers and Skitarii legions, often for testing purposes, unleashes horrors upon the enemy hitherto unseen. They strike with brutal efficiency and calculated tactics, and when covert operations are necessary, some enemies of Midath may find themselves in the unpleasant position of encountering the Cipher Magistrata of the Diagnostic Coven. Pictured here are two acting leaders of the Forge World, Archmagus Nebuchadnezzar and her right hand, Chief Xenologist Soren Quintex. The Archmagus Xenologist, known only as Nebuchadnezzar, is a multi-capable force of efficiency and curiosity in both the laboratory and the battlefield. Encased entirely in a portable, spherical lab station, the Archmagus uses a vestigial, physical form composed largely of hundreds of mechadendrites, and a phygial mask for locomotion and interface with non-mechanicus entities. What remains of the Archmagus's physical humanity is truly unknown to all but herself, as she has been interred in her amniotic fluid bath for millennia. She is violently possessive of Xenos tech she lays claim to, and has even fitted her own form with, mostly, sanctified xenomodifications. She attends the battlefield herself on priority missions, or even just when there may be a Xenos artifact of particular interest to her studies. Right hand to Archmagus Nebuchadnezzar, the Chief Xenologist Soren Quintex can be often spotted leading the forces of the Skitarias against any Xenos foe. Even against the forces of Chaos or members of the fellow Imperium, Quintex's dedication to the Midath law of undiscovery is resolute. He began his career on the field during the surprise defense of Gethsemane AFR-74, in which he succeeded in protecting Midath's secrets from the forces of the Thousand Suns, and was also the sole survivor. After the scenario, his decision-making and combat prowess were lauded by even the Magos Domini, and Skitarii are reverent whenever he and his omniscient axe, Nullcog, lead the battle. Quintex is seen as both a trusted military leader and a true innovator in the fields of Xenos research. The Midath come together under their leaders in the belief that, in the grim darkness of the far future, the alien is humanity's last hope.